Okay, I'm Rina.
Mhm.
I live in Chicago,
Yeah.
and I'm an old lady.
Mhm.
um, would you like to know how old? It's
Yeah.
very old.
Sure.
Eight, eight, five,
You're
eight,
five. You're
eight, five together. What number is that? 85.
you're 85 years old.
Yes, I am. Can you believe that?
I'm only 6.
I know that. And you are so beautiful. You're handsome. And look at Nolan. And look at me. I have gray hair.
It's white.
Oh, it's right. Very, very, very gray. And I'm losing it. It's falling out. Before you know it, I'm going to be bald. Oh, look at this. Okay. Sorry.
Well, I'm River. I live
Nice.
in Vermont. I'm 6 years old. And I just really like the house I live in.
You like to play outside?
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Do you have any siblings?
What does that mean?
I mean, brothers or sisters?
Who's
Do you have any?
Who's Ashley?
Oh, that's your brother.
Yeah.
That's a sibling. When somebody asks you, do you have any brothers or sisters? They could use the word also, do you have any siblings?
I have one.
So that's nice. How old is he?
1.
He's a 1-year-old.
I have one sibling as 1.
Well, I could answer. Okay. Okay, all right. You ask me all the questions.
Um, well, how is it living at your place?
How is it what? I didn't hear that question clearly.
How is it living at your place, like your home?
Oh, it's very nice. It's very comfortable.
Yeah. Let me guess. Your fireplace is on every day.
No, actually, lately it's been kind of warm and I haven't been putting it on. But that's a good question. It reminds me to put it on a chilly night. I will do that.
Uh-oh.
Oh, that was a very good question. Thank you.
You're welcome. So, well, what was it like when you were a kid? Like, you know?
Like your age,
Yeah.
maybe a little bit older.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun.
Mhm.
I lived in a big house
Uh-huh.
when I was like 5 years old. I remember since I was 5 years old,
Uh-huh.
and I used to love to sing.
Me too.
See? Oh my goodness. And then I had an older sister.
Yeah.
She was much, much older than I.
Yeah.
And on this big house, we had a terrace that you could go with big staircase going up there. And we used to go on this big terrace. And
What's a terrace?
the terrace is on top of the roof. But the roof had a fencing around, like a cement fencing. It was tall as you. as tall as you are, maybe a little taller. And you could lean over and watch the people walk down on the street.
Oh,
And
neat.
and this terrace, it was made out of cement, real concrete, like,
Yeah.
they're not like the houses here made of wood. They're solid, made out of cement. And you could go with a bicycle and ride around there for a long time.
No way.
That's how beautiful it was. I really enjoyed it. And then we had a big, big yard
Mhm. Nice.
with a long driveway. And
Mhm.
guess what? We had a big tree. We had oranges. We
Oh, I
had
love oranges.
orange trees. We had tangerine trees.
Oh, tangerines are really good.
Really good, yeah. And then we had lemon. We had pomegranate. You know what pomegranate seeds are?
Yeah, I love those.
And they used to grow so big. They were almost like a small cantaloupe. That's
No
how
way.
big they were.
No way.
Yeah. And this big tree that we had, the big, big tree, it was set where it was.
Yeah.
It was next to a summer house.
Yeah.
It was like a big house, like the size of a garage.
Mhm.
And alongside of it,
Yeah.
had stairways to go up on the terrace.
Mhm.
So when you went up on the terrace, all these big branches were leaning over the terrace. And there was these big, big, huge figs that they were very ripened. And I would pull them off the trees and eat them. And that was the most delicious fruit in the world to eat.
My favorite fruit would probably be
Cherries.
How did you know that?
Because you and I
Yeah.
were on the subject that we both love cherries,
Watermelon.
watermelon, the two red things.
Yeah.
And then if you started to eat figs
Yeah.
off of a tree, you would fall in love with them immediately. And
Really?
that would be your third most enjoyable fruit.
No, it's gotta be watermelon.
Yes, but if you tasted this kind of fig, you would fall in love with them. And it would be watermelon, cherries, and fresh figs from a tree. From a tree, though.
Yeah. Cantaloupe is good. Cantaloupe?
Yeah, cantaloupe is good.
Yeah.
And honeydew. I like honeydew also.
Oh yeah, that's good.
When it's nice and juicy.
Yeah.
Because sometimes the cantaloupes are kind of dry.
Yeah.
But honeydew, if it's nice, juicy cantaloupe and honeydew, when it's nice and juicy, it's good also.
Yeah.
Hmm? So do you know how my house was? How big? Or where it was?
No.
It was in Italy.
Oh.
I grew up in Italy. That's where I was born.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And I had a big house, like I said, with all these fruit trees. And when I was a few years older than you, that's all I was doing, climbing trees and picking the fruit and eating it.
Well, I climb I imagine 9 feet high. I mean,
I know. If you had this
I climb from here
To there.
to
Yeah,
here.
that might.
Yeah, it's
No, but remember, if you had this type of tree, you would be every morning after breakfast or even before breakfast, you'd be climbing that tree.
really?
And even, yes, you would. You would have enjoyed it, picking the figs out of the tree and eating them. Oh, the sun would. They were so fresh and juicy and wonderful.
Yeah, I hope.
You would. I know you would have liked it.
Well, I bet I bet if we had a fig tree. Wait, what was that? Oh, that was a violin. Sorry.
If you had a big fig tree like that, you would be climbing it too.
Yeah, I bet I would.
Because the branches are nice and strong, and they're close by together, and you jump from one branch to another, and you reach over, you grab a fig tree, and you eat them. That is the most wonderful thing in the world to do.
Yeah, I wish I could do it.
Yeah. Because it's fresh fruit, and you're picking it yourself. Okay, what's the next question?
Well, hey, you want to know?
You want to know how old I was at the time?
Yeah.
I was like 10 years old.
Let's see.
Yes.
Well,
You asked.
is your grass nice and green?
It sure is. Very nice. I was sitting outside and I was enjoying it. I couldn't believe it. Your grandma's lawn is so green, like a carpet.
That's what our grass looks like.
Yeah, beautiful this time of year where the grass is so
Ron,
green. No,
it's got leaves all over it, sticks all over it.
Really?
Yeah.
Where's no trees now? Your trees have leaves? Where the leaves are?
Old leaves. They're old.
Oh, they're old leaves. Oh, yeah.
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 But the good news is my mom bought a lawnmower.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah.
Is it a good size one?
Yeah, it's about like from there
To there.
to there. Like,
Yeah.
kind of like from here
Yeah.
to here. Yeah,
Okay.
and like the handle is like from here to here.
To there. Yeah, huh? Nice.
Yeah. And the wheels
Yeah.
are like that round.
That's there. Yeah.
The front wheels that big, the back
That big.
wheels like that big.
Bigger ones. Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, she'll have fun mowing the lawn out there.
Yeah, it's
Enjoying
red.
the sun.
Yeah, the lawnmower is red.
Oh, red? That's nice.
Mhm. So,
Maybe you can hear your question. Do you know where I was born? I was born in Italy.
oh yeah,
I wasn't born in America.
yeah. Didn't you travel a boat in America?
Yes, a big ship. It was huge. And it took us, I think, 2 weeks. About almost 2 weeks to get here.
No way.
A long time to be on the ship.
Yeah, I would have liked it.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. A lot of places to roam around, you know.
Uh-huh.
It was fun. It was fun at the time. I was 12 years old
Yeah.
when I came. And it was fun. We go up on the deck and we go downstairs and we go all the way to the bottom of the boat and we used to see, the boat was how the boat ran by steam. Is it steam? Steam. We were go in the basement of the ship.
Mm-hmm.
They had these huge furnaces. And then there was, I remember, these huge, big, all husky men with big muscles. And they shoveled the coal into the ovens.
Yeah.
These huge big ovens to make the ship travel. I never forgot that. That was some experience.
Well, I bet.
Yeah. You probably in your lifetime would never see anything like that.
I imagine not.
No, you probably wouldn't because you're never going to go on a big ship like that.
Well, I've been on a ship that actually carries tars, like you can't get out of the boat. I mean, your tar. So just like carries the tars across the ocean, so they'd see out your windows.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That was cool, yeah.
And I've been on a ferry.
Yeah, the ferries are nice trips to go on, yeah.
Yeah.
But we had to sleep on the bottom of the ship on the floor. We had to sleep on blankets and pillows. We had our own pillow.
There was no beds?
No beds.
That doesn't make sense.
Well, because that's the way in those days they didn't have no fancy ships, like they do now, like to travel for people to travel. So we had our own pillow, and every night we all had our spot, and we slept on the floor.
Oh.
But it was fun, though.
Yeah.
When you're young, when you're little, we used to wake up in the morning, go in the cafeteria. The food wasn't that great, though.
I would imagine that.
You know what?
What?
You go in the dining room, which is a huge room of the ship, and they had long tables. So what they served was fried egg. And the egg was fried so dry, and I don't know the odor of what kind of oil they used, that it made me not want to eat eggs after I got in America for years. I didn't like the sight of an egg or the smell of an egg. It smells so horrible. And then remember another thing, we had breakfast, and that's all we had: egg and a bun, a piece of bread. Mm-hmm. And I don't think we had any butter, I can't remember, but the tables were so long, you had to hold on to your platter. But you had to hang on to your plate, because as the ship moved, made a little movement like that side by side, your plate would slide off of the table.
You'd have to be like...
Yeah, you have to hang on to the table, and hold on to the plate and eat with one hand and hold with your plate. It was funny. It was fun. It was fun, though.
Yeah.
They're good memories when you grow up,
Yeah.
At the time, when you're 10, 11, or your age, it's fun. You don't think of something being, not being right,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But it was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I imagine.
And then another thing, when I used to go to school, when I was 7, 8 years old, we used to go by a church. It was a small church that I had to pass by. And this church was always open, never closed. And
Really?
every day, coming and going, we'd get into the church, we reach into the holy water, make the sign of the cross, and walk out. It was something we did almost every day.
Oh,
Just for fun,
yeah.
something to do,
Yep, something to do.
Right. And I remember that.
Mhm.
But I enjoyed climbing trees when I was your age and older.
Yeah, I love climbing trees.
Yeah, it was fun. It was fun.
Uh-huh.
We had a lot of big trees in the house.
Nice.
And then we had an outside water fountain that it had like a little tub on the bottom,
Yeah.
and the water with the go. So my sister and I, we always had a water fight all the time.
Yeah.
She would splash me, and then I would wet her, and we run around like two little monkeys, always running around barefooted in the yard. That was our pastime.
Nice. Sounds fun.
Yeah, it was fun. It was our daily routine, chasing each other.
Did you ever fall out of a tree?
No, never. Never.
Me either. Every tree that I've been in, I never fall out of it.
No. You ain't got to the branches. Yeah, tight.
Yeah, that's the whole part of climbing a tree.
Exactly. You hang on to it like Tarzan. Here comes Tarzan climbing the trees. Oh, I should tell when he gets older the story of my sister going down the other garden to pull the trees. That's fun. That was a lot of fun. Would you appreciate that?
Yes.
Well, ask me another question.
What was the story you were talking about?
Well, it's a funny story. I remember, like I said, we lived in this big garden, and my I was like 10 years old, and my older sister was 2 years older than I.
Yeah.
So when we went on this terrace to pick the big trees, there was like a 4 or 5 foot wall between our house and next to this wall there was like a big garden, not a garden. It was a big yard that belonged to somebody else in town. So he lived like 10 blocks away from us. And in this yard, there was a lot of orange trees, and there was lemon trees. And what else did I say there was in that yard? Oh, maybe a few other vegetables or something. So the owner used to come once in a while. And you never know when he would come, Maybe it may come on Monday, it may come on Thursday. So my older sister comes up with an idea because she was bored. We were bored, So she tells me one day, Rina, you know what we got to do? We got to go down in that yard and go pick oranges. I says, what do you mean we? Don't count me. I'm not going anywhere. If you want to go, you go. So she took me up on it. She was so determined to go down there in that other garden that didn't belong. Like I said, the owner lived like maybe 10 blocks away.
He might have even tummed.
What, hon?
Did he tum?
Yeah, eventually he used to come in maybe once a week or once every 2 weeks, whatever. You never know. He never had a certain day of coming. He would just pop in anytime. So this one day he says, I said, no, I'm not going down there. You want to go? You go. So she did. She says, I'm going to go. But I was like cooperating. I was like her helper to do that. She got me to do that. So we had to get a ladder, a single ladder, straight, So we took this ladder, picked it up over this wall, and she puts it down on the other side of the wall, going into the other property. So we had to have two ladders, one on our side, and the other one we put it on the property side. So she climbs our ladder, she climbs the other ladder in the property, she goes down there. So here she is pulling oranges like this from the tree, and as she pulling them, extra oranges fall down. You're pulling two of them, maybe the third one falls on the ground. So she kept doing that and throwing me the oranges, and then she left the ones on the floor, on the ground there. So then she was smart. She wanted to know. She was nosy to check on the day. She was always on top of the terrace, making sure someday, and she would look up the terrace, and we watched the owner. He opens the door to the yard. He walks into the garden, and he sees all these oranges around. So he's scratching his head. He goes, figuring it out. How did these oranges fall off the tree? They're not damaged or anything. They're very fresh.
Yeah.
There's got to be something wrong with it. So he got wise. He used to come every day almost and open the gate and walk in.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what happened. One day she decided she wanted to go down there, and while she's pulling the oranges off the tree, the owner opens the garden door and walks in and catches her pulling the oranges. Oh my gosh, I was petrified for her. So the guy says to himself, this is the way these oranges fall on the tree, on the ground. So he goes out, knocks at my mother's door, and he tells her the story. My mother never was aware of anything that was going on during the day with us.
Yeah.
She was in the house cooking and doing other stuff, thinking, well, the girls are safe in the yard. But my older sister was a little troublemaker.
Yeah.
She would always get in a jam somehow.
Yeah.
So he knocks at the door and tells the man the story. My mother goes, she could not believe it. Oh my goodness, she goes. She apologized to the guy, to the man and everything. So that stopped.
I'm glad.
But it was a bad story.
Yeah. I imagine.
There was something that I would never have done. But
No.
she wasn't afraid of anything. She was always take a gamble.
Yeah.
She wanted, She was more like, I don't care type. I'm going to try it. I want to do this. I got to do it.
Yeah.
And she would get up in the morning, have breakfast, and then run out of the house, and she would go around the corner to play with her friends.
I imagine.
And she wouldn't come home until I had to go call her for dinner. My mother would say, go get your sister from out there where she's playing. But I was all different. I didn't like to do that. I like to be home and help my mother. My mother used to make homemade pasta. She used to bake cookies. And that's what I love to do. Always stay home with my mom and learn and help her how to do this stuff.
Yeah. Me too.
But she didn't like that. As soon as she saw that we were busy, we're going to do something, she would disappear.
Who would?
Yeah.
Who would?
Go where?
Yeah, who would disappear?
She would disappear. Get out of the house and she'd go play with her friends around the corner from where we live.
Oh.
And she wouldn't come home for nothing.
Yeah, I imagine.
But I was different. I like to stay home and I like to learn how to make pasta. I enjoy your great grandma used to make homemade pasta, and she would roll the dough like this, and then she cut it into little squares not like mustacholi, a little bigger than mustacholi, and she would roll them up and make cavatelli, like what they call those American gnocchi. You know what gnocchi is?
No.
Gnocchi pasta is you cut the dough like this big, about that inch.
Yeah.
They're like little pillows, and then you take your finger and you roll them like on the board, like this.
Yeah.
Roll them up, and they come like curly pasta. And then we'll cook it with nice tomato sauce and Romano cheese, and it was the most delicious pasta you could ever eat.
I bet.
Yeah, because it was homemade. It was so delicious, fresh.
Mhm.
Where's Ashley?
Well, that's kind of the end of the interview.
What, honey?
This is the end of the interview, I think.
Okay, that was a good interview.
Yeah.
You had a lot of important questions.